aka Numbers, here at Site Club. If you haven't already done so, do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll also see me over at my other channel on the Tom Numbers Show. Let me just adjust my orange comms. Who's here? Let's see who's here, who's in the house, who's watching. Yeah, thank you for those that have subscribed to the Tom Numbers Show, my second channel. That's grown a lot in the last day, so thank you for that. Who's this? Hey Lindsay. Hey Steph, how are you? Hey everyone, Betsy, sorry. HD Hootie, yeah. We love you too, Steph. Dawn, Alexandra, Teresa, Carla, Marie, Deborah, Larry, hey, Wendy, Mrs. Murray, no, Rosemary, yeah, Tiffany, hey Tiffany, north of Toronto, Lisa, hey Lisa, blessings from Oklahoma, 76, Oklahoma. It was just on 76, it's now at 74. Hello from Utah, Kenneth. Vegas, Curtis, hey. Vegas is cool and wet today. Wow, that's unusual. Ada, Marjorie, Lindsay, another one who loves BT, yeah, Back to the Future as much as me. I do. I do love Back to the Future, you know that. So, yeah, thank you everyone. I wanted to say thank you and also encourage you, if you haven't already done so, do click the subscribe button. It really helps if you hit the notification bell. So click subscribe, and it will give the option of the top bell. If you press it, it will probably darken out, probably go black. So it'll go from light to black. But you want that to happen, you want it to indicate that you've clicked the notification bell. That means you'll get all the things here at Site Club. So I know from my metrics that just about a third of the people that watch the channel are subscribed. So I'm grateful for everyone that watches, it all helps. But if you're able to subscribe, that would even be better, even more better. Bad English, but you know what I'm saying. And if you go over to the Tom Numbers Show, you'll see in the description, we've got the Tarot by Janine episode there, so you can go over and watch that after you've seen this. Click the link and like and share and comment and subscribe over there if you would, please, because that again helps. So it's a team effort, everyone. You're my team. I guess I'm the captain of this particular ship, but you're all my teammates, and so together we can get bigger and bigger and make more of an impact, and we can help teach geometry around the globe, which we're doing already. But as you're as my colleagues, if you're able to, you're like my, I guess, digital soldiers here. If you're teaching the geometry or sharing it with people, it really helps. And what happens is we enlist the help of YouTube. So the more that we subscribe, hit the like button, comment, share, we share that on all our social media platforms, share it with people on WhatsApp, friends, family, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, all of them, Instagram, YouTube, then it will spread out it will push it out further. What YouTube does is it starts to pick up popular videos and it pushes it out further. And look, I've got my ET hands going on again, so there, ET fingers. So it all helps. So I'm grateful for everyone's participation. Excuse me, everyone's participation. And where we go one, we go all. So thank you everyone, God bless you. Okay, so let's read out a few other names. Curtis, Alexandra again, many distractions. Okay, so I wanted to share a few things that happened. I've mentioned them in some of my videos this week, but I wanted to show you some things that have happened. So on Monday, in my last live episode, I mentioned on Monday I went to a football match, a soccer match with QPR, Queen's Park Rangers. So you got the QPR. Used to be my grandfather's club actually. Sydney Charles Wood, and used to take my mother there when she was a little girl to watch a game. Or games. So it's a family club from my perspective. Fulham was my other grandfather on the other side of my family, so, and that's a close club as well. But QPR, I've got an affinity to because one of my best friends, Anthony, supports them. And like I said, my grandfather used to support them and still does, I'm sure. They're in the spirit world, Space Force, Popper's looking down. But I also know Les Ferdinand, so he's the director of football there. And Les is a lovely guy, really just a top bloke. And if you're watching, Les, thank you again for the ticket. So I went and watched it, and Wayne Rooney's team, Derby, were playing. And they were deducted a bunch of points for a few reasons. Not to do with Wayne, but he did a magnificent job and would have kept them up if they hadn't had the point deduction. But they unfortunately got relegated because they started off on minus 21 points. But after the game, we got to speak to Wayne. And I've been really impressed with him this year, that his management skills really kind of surprised me, actually, how good he's been as a manager. And I just felt this kind of affinity towards him. I've met him a long time ago when he was a lot younger. But now he's a proper man, and he's a bit like me, kind of got the Celtic look. He's got really bright blue eyes, rugged, he's got his beard. And I met him, and I think we'll be doing things in the future. Anyway, I just felt really good about Wayne Rooney. These are some of the things I took a picture, so I wanted to share it with you, because this ties into the story of what's been going on this week in the newspapers, in the media, with the numbers, everything. So you'll see how this all connects. Okay, so here are some pictures. And this is the picture of me and Wayne Rooney. So here it is. So he's the Derby manager, the Rams. There he is. Used to play for Manchester United, a top goal scorer for Man United, top goal scorer for England. He's now retired from playing, but still was the best player on the pitch. He was managed by Sven-Göran Eriksson, so people know my episode from Sven on the Tom Numbers show, Top of Your Game. Episode 2 is coming out, and Wayne gets a mention in that episode. Anyway, so hold on to that thought. So Wayne Rooney, because it's going to come up again. Then on the Tuesday, got to go to a place called Box Park. Box Park is at Wembley Stadium in England, London. It's where the football's played. It's where I went to the Euro final, where England unfortunately lost to Italy on the penalties. We might learn more about the truth of sport as time goes on. But anyway, that being said, on Wembley Way, or Olympic Way, some people are calling it. And if it is, Olympic is 93, Bushnell, Tyson is 93. Anyway, here it is, so it's gone up. So I went on to Box Park. Box Park is a place where they held an event, a sparring, there's a big boxing match with Tyson Fury and Dillian White this weekend, tomorrow in London at Wembley. Wembley is 85, which is Storm, which is Awakening, which is Matrix, which is Silver. I didn't take the picture of it. There's something about Back to the Future there as well, but I'll describe it and maybe I'll put it up. Okay, so I got to go to this boxing press conference and a sparring. So Tyson Fury, the champion, was sparring. Tyson comes to 93, which comes to Bushnell, comes to Olympic, comes to Floaters, comes to Kingship. He's known as the Gypsy King. And I met his father. So I'm going to show you a picture of Tyson. This isn't on the day that I met Tyson. I got a picture of Tyson as well, but I haven't got it here in the notes. But I'm going to show you this. So this was today. That's today from the weigh-in press conference. So that's Tyson there being interviewed. So that's who we're talking about. But I got to meet with and chat to his father, and his father is called John Fury, and he's quite a character in his own right, is John. And they're travellers, you know. They're very proud, generational travellers, and hence very tough men. And you know, they've always been brought up, trained to fight. That's kind of part of their culture. But they're decent people. They're really good people, sort of the earth people. And I really liked John, and I met him. And if you can see this, can you see where his finger's pointing? Can you see what he's got on just above his finger? There's a name. You see that in gold writing? Tom. And he's pointing to me. So that that was funny. So that's like one of their sponsors. Hang on, I think that might be a clearer picture. Yeah, so look, he's pointing to me. I've got my 88 miles per hour t-shirt. I should have pulled the, I forgot at the heat of the moment the picture, but that's Trump beneath me, 88 on the t-shirt, 88 miles per hour, 125 time travel, John Kennedy, dark to light. But yeah, Tom in golden writing. But John Fury, and John was a really good, decent man. I got a really good feel and energy about him. He said something really interesting today in the press conference, which I'm going to mention. Anyway, so I met him. He's pointing. It says Tom, and he doesn't, Anyway, so he's got a son called Tommy, and the name Tyson, his other son, who's the boxer, the best boxer, comes to 93 Bushnell. So there's some things there, but this is where it really starts to thicken. So on Wednesday, this is a story that's gone around the world. So President Trump with Piers Morgan, okay. So you'll see this picture. So this is a picture at Mar-a-Lago. This is in the library bar, and this is where I took the picture of the portrait of the visionary, which is the title of that painting, above Piers Morgan's head. Now the interesting thing about this was in November, and President Trump walked past just outside, and I kind of caught a glimpse of him in the corner of my eye, as I'd just been filming that picture, the painting. And I put that up on my YouTube, you'll see it in the shorts. Excuse me, sorry. And, but about a year ago, maybe less than a year ago, quite a significant amount of time ago though, I did a show with Janine, with Tarot by Janine, and there were some comms President Trump had been talking about Tom and Piers. Sorry, Tom and Morgan. And I was thinking, because what had come to me was that Piers Morgan was now working with President Trump, or if he had always been, but he was working with him. And Janine was saying, well, it seems like he was maybe on both sides at different times, but he was definitely working with President Trump. And that's what I felt intrinsically, my intuition was telling me that. And those that watch the shows I do with Janine will realise kind of my intuition comes in. It's the same thing with the numbers. The thought comes in, intuition comes in, and I decode it and do the numbers. But it's great fun when I'm able to fire it off to Janine and say, what do the cards say? And it pops up and it confirms what I've been thinking. Because Gematria is 74, Jesus is 74, Tarot is 74, London is 74, English is 74, DeLorean Time Machine is 74. So there's all those things. Simple 74. So it is simple. It's beautiful, but it's simple. So he did some comms on that. President Trump did. And it confirmed what I'd been thinking. Anyway, so now this is the point. The other thing is President Trump has been doing interviews in the library bar recently with people, and that they haven't really been showing the painting. Maybe the one a few weeks ago with some young guys that have got a YouTube channel. Not too far behind that I am in terms of followers with them, so I might be able to do something with President Trump soon, hopefully. I think it's on the cards. I think it is. Feels that way. But I think they got a bit of the picture, or the top part, the bottom part of it. But in previous ones that he's been doing, because he's done a few since I've seen it, maybe at least 2 more, maybe 3, and they haven't shown it really. They haven't shown the painting, but this is the first time. And there's other shots of it where you see the painting literally above President Trump's head. So there in that picture, it's above Piers's, but when you do the angle of the video, it's right above President Trump's head. So it's a key point. And I knew the magic and power of that painting, that portrait of him. It seems like it's getting closer, they'll be able to confirm more and more. So anyway, so see that, and that's on Wednesday. And also, at the same sort of time period, I was thinking about a footballer called Phil Foden. And where is it? Is it here? Yes. Phil Foden currently plays for Manchester City in England. And this sounds a bit strange, but how would I put this? So people that saw the episode with Michael Jaco and Janine, my last one that I did with both of them about 2-3 weeks ago, Michael brought up an interesting concept which made a lot of sense about parallel lives. So we've got previous lives like reincarnation. They talked about parallel lives, and if fundamentally if we're all one and we're all kind of separate in terms of our avatars or our bodies, our personalities, our identities, and experiencing all these different things, but for fundamentally one, which a lot of thoughts religiously or philosophically or spiritually, a lot of people kind of resonate with that thought. One is 34, DJT is 34, Grace is 34, Neo is 34. You know, he's the one that breaks the matrix or figures it out. And interestingly enough, Thomas Anderson, his first name is Thomas. I was telling my buddy Todd, we were talking about this the other day, and his last name's Anderson. So it's interesting how all these things pop up. But nevertheless, I was thinking about Phil Foden, and the numbers were coming in, and he wears number 47 on his back. 47 is John, 47 is France, 47 is Rachel, it's atomic silver 47. But he's got this quite distinct haircut. He has this kind of buzz cut, kind of crop, Jimmy cut kind of fringe. He dyed it in the summer actually with Gaza, like the Gaza top. But anyway, there was a time when I was in Scotland as a missionary, and I've spoken this before, but there was a picture of me where believe it or not, we didn't look too dissimilar when I was that age. And I had that haircut as well, and it was kind of coming to me. Anyway, I did the numbers on it, and I did a few numbers. I think it was on his full name, and it was either, I think it might have been the year he was born or his date, his birthday. I think it was where his full name, his birthday, and then the number 47. But it came up to a number that comes to 245, which is Thomas Sidney Bushnell, plus 141, which is reincarnation, which is also Tom Bushnell. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Anyway, I did these numbers, but then the following day, there's these things in the newspaper, and I wasn't watching the football. So I wasn't watching the football, and this happened when I got the download on Phil. It was either the day or two before it appeared in the paper, but he'd been scoring winning goals, contributing to winning goals for Manchester City. So anyway, it's just interesting that I was doing the decodes on him, and lo and behold, he's on the back pages. And then another one you can't see on this one, but Kevin De Bruyne, who I was talking to Jingine about possibly being connected to Prince Harry, he was on another copy of the paper which had Foden on and De Bruyne. So a lot of the current ones that I've been thinking about, part of it is that they, are good footballers and they're going to appear. But I thought it was quite close and uncanny that particularly Foden appeared, because he doesn't score every week. He might kind of be the star on the paper, or the star of the paper, I don't know, maybe once a month, because he might score the winners then, because he's not scoring goals every single week, but he's a key component to the team. Anyway, so that's kind of a bit of a side issue, but nevertheless the numbers were coming up and confirming later, and it's again my favourite paper, the Star paper. I mean, the Sun is pretty good as well for it, as you'll see. So that happened, and then let's see what else. Oh yeah, we got a little bit on George Michael. I look at this one a bit more. So that's a young picture of George Michael that was in the same paper. And I've done codes on George Michael before, but I personally feel that he's going to come back at some point. That's my own feeling and intuition on it, and some numbers seem to confirm that. But George is 57, Tess is 57, England's 57. George Michael, so George is 57, Michael's 51. That comes to 108, and guess who it comes to? 108. I did a piece on Michael Owen, but before that I did a few pieces on Shane Warne. Shane Warne comes to 108, which comes to George Michael. And I've done pieces on George Michael, and I actually did know someone that had met George. Actually, I actually have known a couple of girls that have both known George and worked with him. Anyway, so that came up. So I thought that there was something in that. I was like, I think that might come up again. But this is where it really starts to connect. Okay, so this picture here. So today, it all starts to really kind of come back round. So I'm watching the press conference of the weigh-in in the boxing. So this picture that I showed earlier of Tyson Fury was taken from today. Okay, so this afternoon here in England at Box Park, Box is 41, which is King, which is TSB. Park is 46, so that comes to 87. Box Park comes to Truth. If you do the word boxing comes to 71, which is Psych, which is the name of my channel here. Lady Diana 71, Smart 71, Orion 71. So if you go to the galactic origins of some things that people talk about. Anyway, so that's today. Tyson Fury, Tyson. I have a feeling that something significant could happen there, or maybe a shock, either in the result or maybe something. I don't know. There's something. Maybe it wouldn't be nothing, but there seems to be something brewing. Not necessarily a bad thing. I just think it might be pure theatre. There might be some things. So time will tell. We'll see what happens. But maybe there might be a shock. A lot of people are talking about. It could be that Tyson's expected to win, but maybe there's a shock. Don't know. It's 50-50 as it is, but let's see what happens. But there's a few feelings around it, and yeah. Anyway, this is what I want to point out to you today. Okay, so this was on this afternoon. I was watching it, and I took this screenshot. And if you see, so Tyson's wearing Tom as well. But can you see how I took the picture? What's the letter next to Tom? It's a Q. Queensbury. Can you see that? And then up in the top corner, next to the YouTube, can you see that there's a pair of binoculars? There's Bushnell binoculars. Bushnell binoculars come out of Kansas City, the Twin City. Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City comes to 122, which comes to Millennium, comes to America first. Missouri comes to 123, comes to Eric Trump. And I did a piece with Clay Clark actually on Monday. That hasn't been released yet. Might be over on my other channel. Probably, yeah, it will be actually. Yeah, the R channel, if that makes sense. So it'll be over there because of the kind of high level content that Clay was putting out. Yeah, but I mentioned 1, 2, 3 is Eric Trump, is Missouri is Abraham Lincoln, silver and gold silver, gold, 123. But if you do Kansas City, follow the Yellow Brick Road, there's a lot of kind of prophecies in some religions about that, particularly Mormonism, Mormon 88 Trump. I think that, a lot of things got corrupted, but I think there's some truth in the inception of it, a few hundred years ago. But that's my thoughts and feelings about it. But anyway, Kansas City, part of the Twin City, because Kansas City is twinned in Kansas, it's also twinned in Missouri. A bit like London has a twin city, City of Westminster, City of London, but it's known as London. But Kansas City 122, we did that piece on the Millennium Dome not long ago with Jetson White, and a follow-up with Rachel and with Janine. But Missouri's 123, so if you do 122 plus 123, what do you get? You get 245. You get Kansas City, Missouri comes to 122 plus 123 comes to 245, which comes to Thomas Sidney Bushnell, which comes to the pure love of Christ. Anyway, so Bushnell binoculars, they change things in YouTube, but I've never actually seen it in the app where they've changed it. So there's a pair of binoculars up there, and then there's Tom on the shirt with Fury. Tyson's name comes to 70. Fury comes to 93. Bushnell, Kingship, Flotus, Nazareth, and Kingship. Fury comes to 70, which is Secret, which is Henry, which is Harry. But you do Tyson Fury, comes to 163, comes to some really important names of people close to me, but also comes back to New York in regards to the RV. But Tyson Fury and his dad, they seem very religious and biblical type folk, and Tyson was box office as he always is, and he was saying a few things. He talked about Julius Caesar, and he also mentioned Solomon. He said the wisest man in the world, King Solomon. And I saw that, I was like, King Solomon, King Solomon comes to 144, comes to Ron Watkins, Code Monkey Z. It comes to Digital Soldier, 144. There was another reference this week to King Solomon. I'm trying to think what it is now. Maybe it'll come back to me. But anyway, I saw that and I was like, oh, there's some biblical references there, digital soldier. And I'm a digital soldier, and maybe Tyson is as well. Maybe his dad is. Maybe they're putting out codes. I feel that was the case. And talking of codes, Matt Tissier, I think I mentioned this in the other one, but he was wearing like a Q shape on his t-shirt when he did his first live on Getter, or one of the lives, the one I saw this week anyway. But yeah, Tom Q, look. I didn't even notice that until I sent it to Rachel later today. Tom Q. And go over and follow Rachel's channel, because she's done a great episode with the George collection today at Right So Blonde. You'll see the links below. But Tom Q. Right. And then today, at this same press conference, literally just minutes later, Tyson Fury's father, John Fury, John 47, Rachel 47, he is there. He's in a suit, and he's talking about his son and the boxing match that's coming up. And if you can watch it, you can watch the live weigh-in and the commentary after. It's on BT Sport, yeah. Probably on other networks, maybe the ESPN one, if for the ones in the States. But anyway, John Fury says, maybe it's the calm before the storm. He says that phrase. He says maybe it's the calm before the storm. Now, I've got to say, when I met John Fury, I really liked him. He's a tough guy. He looks for action, looks for fights, but he's respectable. And I just felt this instant connection to him, and he was really very kind and gregarious with me, and I just really liked him. And for him to come out and say maybe it's the calm before the storm in regards to the fight, but he's also that's a Q phrase, that's a Trump phrase, and he says it, and I'm like, what? No way. So that happened today. And then last night, President Trump is talking at this event in Florida, and he refers to Tom and Morgan again in the first few minutes, and he says the word Tom. He says the name Tom a number of times. He always refers to Tom Holman, and I always get a lot of comments when he says Tom Holman. Hey everyone, it will be a tough fight. Yeah, it will be interesting to watch. Fantastic, yeah. But President Trump, so confirming the comms of the Piers Morgan, the Mar-a-Lago interview with the painting, and the one that I did the video on, and President Trump had confirmed my feelings and intuition about the download I got about Piers Morgan being at least working for President Trump now. And then President Trump refers to those same people, Tom Holman and Morgan so-and-so, and he puts them together like he did many, many months ago when I got the download about Piers Morgan, and Janine confirmed it. So that happened yesterday. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. See, this is what's happening to people. So, because of the codes I know, because of the things that are happening in real time, these things are being backed up and backed up and backed up by more and more comms. And I can prove them. I mean, I can, whether people believe them or not, that's up to them. But these are directly sent to me in many ways, I believe. They could be sent to other people as well, but I'm definitely picking them up. And they're confirming it. My name's on the guy's t-shirt, John's pointing. His son talks about digital soldiers, where King Solomon 144, his father, who pointed to Tom, when he's got a picture with me and I'm wearing my Trump t-shirt underneath, says today, when he's dressed in his suit, the calm before the storm. And President Trump tied the Tom Holman and Morgan together from the previous comms many, many months ago, and this whole thing in the newspaper, and Piers Morgan blowing it all out of proportion. And then this, and going back to Wayne Rooney, so this is, people would be like, well, why was I talking about Wayne Rooney? This is why. I mean, it's, Wayne Rooney's a significant guy, and I got good, I felt good around him. So Wayne Rooney's nickname in football is Wazza, W-A-Z-Z-A, Wazza. Now, Wazza, if I remember rightly, comes to 77, comes to power, comes to Christ. So Wazza, yeah, let me do this. Waz. It's like Gaza, because of Paul Gascoigne, and Paul Gascoigne's actually got a film out right now. They've done a documentary about him, and Phil Foden. There's a resemblance and a connection with me, or me with him somehow. In the European Championships, he had blonde hair just like Paul Gascoigne did back in 1996, and I was a missionary back then, and I I was bigger by the end of my mission, but when I first was fresh out, I was the size of Phil Foden. Well, I looked more like Phil Foden. He's probably still a bit more slender, but there's pictures of me that look very similar with that haircut. Anyway, so Wazza, yeah, Wazza is 77. Wazza's 77 power. Christ, hertz frequency. But this is the headline. Also, I want to remind you that I met Nigel Farage, basically the guy behind Brexit, maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago at tops, probably about 6 weeks ago. Got a picture with him. I think I've done a video on it. You'll see. But this is what came up in the paper today, in reference to Piers Morgan and President Trump, because it looks like Piers Morgan has set the video up or edited it to make it look like President Trump stormed off, and maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but he's basically pulling Piers out. I think Piers is having to do a deal, and I think it's all been staged to wake people up and point things out. But nevertheless, look, this is the Star newspaper, and Wayne Rooney's called Wazza, that's his nickname. Look at this, War of the Wazzooks. And I did the codes on Wazza at the beginning of the week, War of the Wazzooks. And I've met Piers Morgan a few years ago before COVID. That's how I met people like David Hasselhoff. I only said hello to Piers for literally a second, and then I just gave him his distance. It was his party, so I didn't want to step on his toes and just kept myself to myself. But I was meeting a lot of other people there, and I got to know some of them. So yeah, people like Hasselhoff and a few others. But anyway, that being said, I met Farage, and I was at Trump's home in November, and they all know each other. And Wayne Rooney's called Wazza, War of the Wazzooks. So these things have been happening, people, and in some ways they may be more subtle than the ones from last week with Back to the Future, but nevertheless I think they're really they're amazing as well. You know, I meet Wayne Rooney, Wazza. I meet John Fury. He's got Tom on his shirt, and I only realised really when we take the photo, he's pointing to me, and I've got my 88 Trump miles per hour t-shirt underneath. And I see his son Tyson. And then the next day there's the thing with Piers and Trump in the paper. And that's where I took the picture at Mar-a-Lago with the painting. And then there's Phil Foden. I did the numbers on him. Excuse me, keep hiccuping, sorry. Prior to him scoring important goals the next day for Manchester City. And then I see again at the press conference, I wasn't physically there today, maybe I'll be there tomorrow, we'll see. People like Lennox Lewis is a friend of Trump, he knows Piers Morgan from the Celebrity Apprentice, he's there at that event, so send out some good vibes that I get to go and meet Lennox and do an interview with him and correlate it all with what's going on, and encouraging people to watch the boxing, because it'll be a great fight, so watch the pay-per-view on both sides of the Atlantic. And then there's the slight one with George Michael. I think there's more to that coming. There's been some others as well, but these are the key ones. And then today, yeah, binoculars on YouTube, Bushnell binoculars. Bushnell binoculars out of Kansas City, Missouri. Comes to 245, my full name. The binoculars as well, Bushnell binoculars, could be a reference to Tyson Fury as well, because Tyson was talking about Solomon, digital soldiers, and he did some other biblical references, and I think his dad did as well, John. But his father, John, said about the calm before the storm. And then in the picture that I'd get, there's Tom again on Tyson's t-shirt, and there's a Q literally next to it, Queensbury. The advert, it's like the brand of the video, and it's like there's a Q. And they're advertising, they're sponsoring it as well, so it's there. Anyway, all these things are happening, people, so hopefully that makes some sense. For those that understand the numbers, it does. And it's always a joy to behold. There's always more and more numbers. There's always more and more. Oh, also another one, I didn't take a picture of this, and I haven't even done the numbers on it properly, but nevertheless the message is clear. So they had Boris Johnson in the shape of a Klingon from Star Trek, and I've been saying for months and months and months that Star Trek Space Force and the Star newspaper. The Star newspaper keeps telling people about Star Trek and the reality of Space Force and aliens, etc. And they were saying about Boris Johnson time traveling, and we could get a different prime minister. That was last week. And now they're showing him as a Klingon with that funny shaped head in Star Trek. And so the truth is stranger than fiction, everyone. And it always comes to pass. It always happens. So yeah, let's see what happens. And yeah, the comms about the Matrix. Agent Smith, when someone that can't understand higher dimensional than 3D, they just spaz out and or flip out, I should say, but they just go crazy, and they can't handle it, so therefore something kind of enters their psyche and they start to look for all kinds of rationale to keep them in this 3D. And it's fine, if they want to be in 3D, then so be it, but you shouldn't let that interrupt your frequency. And we're going from dark to light, 125, time travel, 88 miles per hour. That was underneath my t-shirt when John Fury had Tom and he's pointing to me. So, who knows? I think maybe the Furies might be white hats, John and Tyson. Particularly John, I think. And maybe Tyson as well. But yeah, I definitely his dad, I felt good. Calm before the storm. He just said it. He just came out with it. You got to watch it. It's there. Just look up the weighing press conference, and you'll see it. So, okay, let's see. Are there any questions? I'm going to finish soon, but let's have a look. You believe he's JR? Not sure. JR played in this game. Okay, yeah. Bloodline is 88. Trump. Bloodlines matter. That's the other thing. They keep talking. The Furies keep talking about how through thousands of years and hundreds of generations that they've produced this thoroughbred boxer, which is Tyson. So he's super tall, 6'9", 6'9" is checkmate. It's people, it's financial. And he's known as the Gypsy King. I can't remember what Gypsy King is. Let me have a look. Gypsy. So King is 41, TSB, USA. And he's been fighting in the USA. It's a big deal that he's come back to England because he's not fought for about 4 years here. So Gypsy, G-Y-P-S-Y. Oh yeah, that's it. Gypsy is 92, numbers. So numbers king, Gypsy King. And Tyson is 93, Bushnell. There's a lot of this stuff, people. Gyp. Yeah, let me just double check. Gypsy. Yeah, 92. Reverse numbers. Manhattan. Gypsy King. 133. Yeah, Gypsy King. Yeah. A Gypsy King. 134. New Yorker. Regis Park, Trump Park. So there's a lot of this, people. Alright, I'm going to head off soon. What's TSB, Tom? Oh, that's my initials. Yeah, Tom Sidney Bushnell, so TSB. So that's another way you can get number codes. You can work out your initials and then work out their value. So yeah, TSB is my initials. Who is the picture of? Which picture? This one. This is Tyson Fury. So I showed a few pictures, but I'll show you this one. So that's a meme of President Trump, Piers Morgan and Nigel Farage, but they're all key characters that I've met. Piers, way before COVID, or a year before COVID. But President Trump, haven't met him, not consciously in this life, but I've seen him. And I met Farage just about 6 weeks ago. And then this one, if this is the question, is this the question you're asking? So this is the boxer. This is Tyson Fury, who's the heavyweight champion of the world, and he's fighting tomorrow. So that's the other picture I think you might be referring to. But if you look, he's got Tom on his t-shirt, and there's a Q next to it, and then in the top corner there's a pair of binoculars, Bushnell binoculars, come out of Kansas City. Sorry, I worked at a place with the same initials. Okay. I'd like to touch my nose and do that, but I consciously don't know, so I can't do what Robert Kennedy Jr. did. But I would love to be able to do that and say I have. And maybe, I have no idea. I say no idea. Consciously, I have no idea. Maybe my soul knows, but I have to dig that out. So maybe I get to touch my nose at some point and tell you that. Beam me up. Yeah. Star Trek's real. We got 241 in the room. on the chat. Now 248, but 241 comes to President John F. Kennedy. 241 comes to plutonium 241 in the film Tenet, and 241 comes to is August 29th. 241, 241st day of the year is August 29th, and that's a big code in Terminator 2. I think you will soon, Tom. Oh, bless you, thank you. Lana Turner, Melania Trump connection, interesting. Have you followed Jason Sure? I did message him, see about doing a show. I've not heard back, but I don't really know too much of his stuff, but be interested to do something and find out more. Well, everything is connected. It sure is, Slade. Yeah, it sure is. Hey, Belinda. Here's my favourite, Belinda. How are you? I'm going to call you. I thought about calling you today, actually. We'll talk. Incredible photograph, a subliminal message. Yes, it was. Bleachers around Buckingham Palace. Ah, that's the other one. Yes. So, I need to go down there, actually. I haven't had time, but I need to get down there. So, thanks for reminding me. So, I did mention this the other live the other day, but apparently at least 2 of the crests have been taken down now, and it was her birthday yesterday. So that would have been in the consciousness. Hi from Liverpool. Hey, Liverpool's a great city. I love it there. Have you read John Titor full transcripts? Not full, but I'm aware of it. And there's a connection on the date there with him and my birthday, so I go reverse of it. But London Bridge, yeah, 119. London Bridge. Teresa Hageland, hey Tom. Yeah, hey. It's down soon from Vancouver. Lana Turner. Okay, Lana Turner. Let's look into that. Yeah, I will. I'll get down to the palace soon. Might be tomorrow, might be Sunday. Probably more like Sunday, really, I think. So I'd assume it'll still be there. If they've changed it, then that would be really quick, but let's hope not. I'd like to do a video of that. Yeah, so anyway, a few Slade. Looking Glass, guidance Looking Glass. Okay, yeah. Rachel mentioned that. Romanov, yeah, I've heard that. Probably a Pleiadian, she looks like she is. I remember the first time I saw her, it was like kind of breathtaking. It was like out of this world. I mean, she's beautiful, but kind of an out of this world. Very similar. Well, when I met Ivanka in person, she felt out of this world, like, literally. She's gorgeous, as everyone knows, and as people know, I feel that she is. I've always liked her and thought she's amazing. But when I met her, there was something really kind of divinely off-world about Ivanka. A reverence. I've said this to a few people that I know. I felt just very reverent around her. I don't even know if I think I shook her hand, but I might not have done. We took the picture. Usually, if I'd met a famous woman like that, I'd probably shake their hand and then give them a kiss either side of the cheek. You know, I've been to a lot of events and dinners and met people like that, but there's something about her. I just felt like this reverence and kind of ultimate respect for her. And there was this off-worldy experience. And I've said this before, but it's come up, so I'll say it again. The day that I met Ivanka was June 11th of 2015. It's about a week, maybe 8 days before, no, week and a half before after my cousin Paul died. So I'm in Manhattan, second day there. I've gone to a soccer event. It's the first time I'm in Manhattan, 92. Manhattan numbers 92, reverse 92. And Gypsy King 92. Gypsy 92. And that'd be interesting on the family tree side of things. But so I meet her June 11th. June is 50, which is Donald, which is Eileen, which is America, which is Paul. 5 days later, her dad and Melania come down the escalators. Currency exchange above Melania's head. 174, trust the plan. Eye of the storm, 174. Yes, time travel, 174. Luke Skywalker, 174. But yes, time travel, 174. Warp speed, Operation Warp Speed in Star Trek and hyperspeed and Star Wars, etc. Star Wars 119. Nikola Tesla. But anyway, so 5 days prior, I meet Ivanka, and But 11th, June 11th comes to 91, comes to Future, comes to Liberty, comes to The Father, it comes to Magic Ivanka actually. Magic Ivanka comes to 91, comes to 11th. But 91 comes to Space Force, comes to POTUS. I think it comes to Flat Earth. I think it does. I did some of those recently, so yeah. But then if you add them together, June 11th, so 50 plus 91 comes to 141. 141 comes to Reincarnation, 141 comes to Looking Glass, and 141 comes to Tom Bushnell. June 11th is the 162nd day of the year, 162. 162 comes to Trumpology. Do have a look for the links down below on Trumpology. We might do something on that actually. We might ask some people that have purchased Trumpology, and I know there's a lot of you that have. And if you email Monique, I need to get the email, but Monique at Atwood Digital, she's the reference on the, when you bought the product, you'd have had your receipt, a digital receipt, but there's a contact there, and that's Monique. If you email her the receipt, take a screenshot of it and email a receipt and just say you bought the Trumpology product and when it was, then we can see that. And we're going to compile a select group of people to come on to do a live if you want. Probably get Mark Atwood to come on as well. And we'll do a live and we'll talk about Trumpology. So we'll get a round table, maybe get, I don't know, 20, 30 of you on there, and you can tell us about Trumpology, and it'll be a chance for you for us to get to know you, to come on the show, to talk to people about the product. So I think we're going to do that soon. So yeah, email Monique, let her know, and show the description, show the product receipt. Don't email me about it. I won't be sifting through it. But email Monique, and she'll collect a group of people that want to come on the show and do a round table. But yeah, you have to be able to prove you got it obviously through the receipt, and we'll see that. And when you purchase it, you can check on the records, and then brush up on your Trumpology. Tell us, give us a good story of how it's helped you and everything, and we'll get you on the show. We'll do a round table, probably about maybe 20, 30, maybe 40 people in the Zoom, depending how many we can get in. So that'll be fun. So 162nd day of the year is Trumpology. But then day 162, day is 30. Day 162 comes to 192, which comes to Governor's Island. Steve Bannon did that famous address in front of the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is 198, President Trump. Across the water from World Trade Center, 185, Donald John Trump. Just across the water from Building 7, 143, Melania Trump, Ground Zero, 143, November 5th, always remember the 5th of November, remember the 5th of November, and 143 is Paul Bushnell, my cousin. So 2 beams of light which I saw with the towers where they were, comes to 208, comes to Quantum System, comes to Paul Dennis Bushnell. So there's a lot of things all connected with this. But anyway, Governor's Island 192 comes to Ivanka Marie Trump, which is day 162. So 30 plus 162 comes to 192, Ivanka Marie Trump. So there's 2 numbers there. So June 11th, 141, Tom Bushnell, Ivanka Marie Trump 192, day 162. And then where we took the picture, which is blocked down, I thought it was closer at the time, but I discovered when I was there this summer, well this September, just gone, that it was a block or so further down, just at the corner where the Apple store is, and Central Park, 5th Avenue, Trump Tower. Just further down, about a block and a half down, there's a building, a plaza, and it's got 55. I saw that in the picture, the original picture of me and Ivanka. 55 is Heaven, 55 is Melania, 55 is JFK Jr. It's a loud, clear signal, 5-5. How loud can you hear me? 5. How clearly can you hear me? 5, 5, 5. But the plaza, so there's Del Vecchio or something plaza, I can't remember the exact name. But anyway, they slightly changed the face of it, but still, they'd reprinted it, but still the same, the plaza. But that plaza comes up to 146, which comes to New Jerusalem, and it comes to Ivanka Trump. So we've got 3 codes on it, 2 on the date and when we physically took the picture. So that's what the numbers point to. So anyway, but yeah, she is beautiful and gorgeous, and I think a show with her will definitely be appropriate, and it will happen at some point, and hopefully many to come. The best is yet to come. And but yeah, there was something very divine, kind of off-worldy, something very unique when I met her that I've not really felt. I mean, I've met a lot of famous people, as some of you will gather. I've seen and met a lot of famous women, and you know, they're beautiful, and normal unfamous women are beautiful as well. But I've got to say, when I met Ivanka, there was something really quite off-worldy, spacey about her. I couldn't put my finger on it, but there was something very special. Hence my reaction around her. I just felt very reverent. That's the best way I can describe it. So, all right, everyone. I think I'm going to wrap up soon, but I want to encourage you to yes, go over and there you go. They want to do number for the day. Yeah, they probably will. I'm sure they will. But all numbers are good. But yeah. Yes, Ivanka looks very serene and regal. Yes, she does. Tom equals Ivanka fanboy. Tom equals Ivanka fanboy. Is that a compliment or not? I'll check. I'll have a look at your previous comments and I'll decide. And maybe I'll see you in the chat, or maybe I won't. Because this is a 0 spamming area. Anyone that does, they get out. That's just how it is. Maybe you're not, yeah, from that comment. Maybe you're not. But if you can't see the numbers I just showed you, then we'll see. I'll see what your history is like, and I'll check. So, because we're sovereign, and we have borders, and we have walls, and President Trump has talked about borders. And so if people infringe upon our borders, then we have the right to expel them. And that's just the case, is it here? So I'm respectful to all my people, and I expect the same in return. So if you're a pest, if you're a bot, then you'll go. Vegas loves Ivanka and Trump. Okay, Curtis. Okay, you're trying to change your tune. We'll see. Okay, I'll have a look at your history though. I'll get a sense of who you are. All right. So, without further ado, thanks everybody. God bless. And okay, I'll have a look though. If you're fine, you don't need to worry. I'll have a look. I'll know from your previous comments. So, alrighty. Well, thanks very much, everyone. God bless you. And do like, share and subscribe. Check out the previous link for the Tarot by Janine show over on the Tom Numbers show. The Tom Numbers show, we want to get that to over 10,000 as quickly as possible in subscribers. We want to get to over 100,000 subscribers here on Site Club as quickly as possible. And we'll keep growing together. So the more we push that together, it will grow bigger. We can get the word of gematria out, and we can turn everything from dark to light through the power of the numbers and all the other gifts that are coming. All right, everyone. God bless. Much love. Check out the boxing tomorrow. I might be there. We'll see. And who knows? Let's hope for Lennox Lewis piece and a few other boxers. That'd be great to get their thoughts and comments on what's going to take place. All right, everyone. Thank you. God bless. Take care. Bye.